Last try.
Okay.
Hey everybody, this is Newbie Dice. My name is Paige and
I've got.
And with us, we have some previews of the upcoming Clash of Kings 2022. Why do we have these previews and information leaks from Mantic, God?
Because we are living in the future. We are 12 hours ahead of the US and about 8 hours ahead of the UK and Europe. So yeah, we just get the info earlier.
Yes, and we have permission to preview this information to you guys, and we are bringing to you some of the changes from two factions, namely it is the forces of the Abyss and
Salamanders.
All right, without further ado, let's talk about some of these exciting changes. For me, I'm very excited for the forces of the Abyss because this is my version 2 2nd edition army going to 3rd edition. I haven't been playing much forces of the Abyss, but I'm very excited to give them a go very soon. In fact, I'm building up my physical army right now. And the first change I'd like to talk about is the Tortured Souls. And they have Crushing Strength 1, Speed 8 Flying, and now they're going to get Thunderous Charge 1 as well. Now, Tortured Souls, their regiment size has always been quite a good value. With Thunderous, that pushes them to be really great value, really give the gargoyles a run for their money. You know, a little bit more expensive, but a little bit stronger and more survivable and hits a little bit harder as well. And more importantly, that also makes the Horde options much more viable because the Horde option hasn't been taken much in 3rd edition so far. So I'm pretty excited for these changes to Tortured Souls. And speaking of Tortured Souls, we're going to talk about the mother of Tortured Souls, the Well of Souls itself. And this hasn't been seeing much playtime in 3rd edition as well. Now that's all going to change because firstly, they're going to get a point drop from 300 points. They're going to drop to 290 points. On top of that, their life leech is going to increase to 5. This is the only unit in the game that can have life leech higher than 3, and that's 5. It does have 10 attacks, hitting on 4, but it has Strider. So on the flank, there's very likely to heal that 5 wounds. The Well of Souls is this healing machine. Actually, it absorbs wounds from others and put it onto itself. So when it life leech 5, it is tremendous value. Next is a totally new unit, and this is a unique living legend unit or limited unit. I forgot what's the term for it, but it has the bracket 1 and it's called the Oathbreakers. So let's go through the profile a little bit. I'll flash it on the screen in case you're watching it on video.
175 points.
Now they are like the Abyssal Guard, speed 5, melee 3+, defense 4+, with crushing strength 1. So it's like the two-handed weapon profile of the Abyssal Guard, 12 attacks and dash 17 nerf, 1 pip of higher nerf than the Abyssal Guard. It has a regeneration 5+ like all of the Abyssals, and it also has this new very cool rule, vicious against heroes only. Take note, heroes, not just the individuals, but including heroes that are large infantry, heroes that are monsters, titans, so on and so forth. You get some vicious against that. But the most important rule of all is it gets rarely 1 for infantry only. Now, I'm quite excited for this entry. Why? Because when you play Forces of the Abyss, when you're choosing hammers for your army, you are usually choosing between like Molochs, which are defense 4, not everyone's favorite, as well as Abyssal Horsemen. They're pretty cool, but some people are not very comfortable with that 14-16 nerf. With this rallying 1 to infantry only buff, it makes an infantry build much more viable for Forces of the Abyss. Now, there's no 1 infantry that's a super hammer, but you have a lot of medium strength units that you can use to overwhelm the enemy, hopefully get some flank charges in. So to help you with that, the rallying 1 is going to make the very value for money chef, the ghouls, even better. 90 points, 14-16 nerf, defense 4+ with Fury. Now they are 15-17 nerf with Fury, all for 90 points and an unlocking unit. So the moment they don't kill, your Oathbreaker is going to come in and flank them from the side. So that's one use of the Oathbreakers, a rally 1 aura. Of course, they also buff things like the Flame Bearers. You know, they could be babysitting the Flame Bearers. They are shooting out their firebolts. 13-15 nerf now becomes 14-16. As well as what else? There's quite a lot of cool options for infantry in Forces of the Abyss. We have the lower Abyssals, which are still quite good. as well as Abyssal Guard, and not forgetting the Succubi, because the Succubi does have Ensnare and Stealthy. And yeah, you might have heard that the shooting is a little bit making of a comeback. So that Stealthy might be very useful against these shooting units, and that +1 nerf will definitely help a lot. So I'm pretty excited for the Oathbreakers being a cool new unit entry, and on top of that, it's quite fluffy as well, quite cool to the lore, because the Oathbreakers are probably these abyssals that has fallen, not abyssals, but humans that has fallen to the dark side.
Like Page.
So Order of the Green Lady, I'm going into abyssals in Clash of Kings 2022. Watch out for it on my channel after I finish painting my army. All right. So I do have some cool conversions here, which are Basilian models mixed with abyssal bits, as well as a custom 3D printed shield, because I am making an Persian abyssal army. Okay, full Mantic with some conversion bits. So this is a man-at-arms base model with some abyssal head weapon options, as well as a 3D printed shields. So I'll flash it out on the screen later on. So yeah, that's all that I have for Forces of the Abyss. So God, take us through the Salamanders.
Yes, from the fires of hell to the fires of the volcanoes in wherever the salamanders are. I'm not so familiar with the lore. So I'm currently building a salamander army, or Mantic. So the recent new models, the tyrants, the rhinos are fantastic. So yeah, we're going to go through some of the changes. So the first change I'm going to go through is the Greater Fire Elemental. You don't often really see salamander players taking it. In a salamander army, they prefer to take the tyrants and fire elementals instead. But now the Greater Fire Elemental has an improved melee of 3+. So this is very, very useful. Anybody that has played elementals before, 4+ to hit can be a bit swingy, but 3+ to hit with CS3 and Vicious makes it a lot more efficient. In addition, it gets the option to get a 10-point upgrade to get Wild Charge +1 for Salamanders. So that includes units like all the infantry, including the Unblooded, who already have Wild Charge D3. So they will get Wild Charge D3 +1. And it also includes
your Rhinosaur Cavalry.
Rhinosaur Cavalry, a Battle Captain of Rhinosaur, and also Lancer. And the Big Daddy, the Clan Lord on Fire Drake. So he gets Wild Charge 1 in addition to his flying, so which is very cool. So it gives more synergy to the other units that are not taken as much. So it's a way of giving you more options, more synergy, more team.
Yeah, +1 Wild Charge to a Threat 20, right? Threat 21 is a big deal. The Lancers, 16-inch charge range becoming 17,
yes.
out-threating all the other cavalry.
Yes, except for the pesky elf cavalry, but yeah. So the next change is the Ghekkotah Slasher. He actually gets 10 attacks up from 8 attacks. So that makes it a bit more hitty in combat. So he has a melee of 3+. So melee 3+, CS2 with 10 attacks, pretty good. It's pretty cheap at 210 points, 1680 nerf. So the other change is an option to get Thunderous Drums, to get Rally 1 for Ghekkotah only for 15 points. It's a cheap upgrade. It actually helps you boost the other Ghekkotah units. So it's a quite fluffy upgrade because the model has Ghekkotah
riding on it.
Dudes on it. And the last change, say the best for last, is it's a new unit. It's a new Hero Titan unit called Rakawas, the Pale Rider. It's a living legend. It's a speed 6, melee 3+, range 4+, defense 5, 12 attacks, 1820 nerf. So it's at 245 points. So it's basically an upgraded Fire Drake, a bit slower, but he has a melee of 3+, and he has a higher nerf. He also gets Inspiring because it's a character, and Vicious for both melee and for range attacks. So this is a very cool unit. It's a good second line unit. It's height 6, so you can shoot over your tyrants with no penalty. Inspire, so it actually gives you another option to play with for Salamanders. So that's pretty interesting. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, that's quite a huge chunk of nerf for 245 points. 12 attacks is pretty impressive as well. So if this were a flying Titan, it would have costed a Dragon class, right? It would have costed close to 350. So for losing that flying, you do get a 100-point discount. And I think will be a very interesting
Yeah.
choice for the Salamander players. And rounding back to the Ghekkotah Slasher, it's only 210 points. So 10 attacks for that 210 points is quite a good deal. On top of that, it does have the ballista built in.
Yes, it has a sharp stick thrower. So it's a 36-inch range, 2 attacks, blast D3, piercing 2, steady aim, mobile shooting platform. It's height 6, so it's plus your infantry.
The range value is 5+. So usually ballista class are 4+. But also because it's height 6, it gets to ignore a lot of cover from units.
Yep.
Of course, it doesn't ignore cover from being in terrain, but intervening units, they just shoot over. So you're hitting at 5+ quite often.
Yep.
So all that for a package of 210 points, and you can get a Ghekkotah themed army by getting the Rally 1.
Yes.
That's all the leaks that we have for you, all the previews from the Forces of the Abyss and the Salamanders. Now, Mantic has been releasing previews through the various sources out in the public, right? From the various podcasts and media surrounding this game, Kings of War, that we all love. So as of the time of this recording, there are some that are already out there. So let's have God just go through some of them right here.
Yeah, so our friends down under, running the Direct Misfire podcast, they have a lot of leaks. They actually send some scurrilers to Mantic to tear a few pages from the book. So they actually have leaks on Abyssal Dwarfs, Ratkin, and Elves. And there's a bit about
Undead as well.
Yeah, so I don't know how they did it. They might have tunneled through down under all the way to UK or something. So our friends in the UK as well, Tom Robinson and Elliot, they run the Northern Kings YouTube channel. I think it was released yesterday as of recording. They have some interesting info on Northern Alliance, which Tom played and recently won the Clash of Kings with, and also Halflings.
Yeah, especially the Halflings. We have the beta list, but I think Elliot did go through some of the
the
things that were changed from the beta list to the final form of the Halflings army list.
And something that wasn't in the beta list as well. So it's something entirely new. So you have to tune in to find out more about that. And also Countercharge, they'll be running weekly updates on the Clash of Kings. So every Wednesday, US time, they'll come out with a new episode. Last week, it was Kingdoms of Men. Matt James, RC member Matt James. He actually went through some of the new units for Kingdoms of Men. So that's very exciting. And also this week, I think they're going to go through the different Glade Stalker units for the Elf armies.
All right, that's all we have for you guys. Can't wait to play Clash of Kings 2022 and hope you're all excited as we are. So we'll see you next time.
If you're from the Asia Pacific region, do consider checking out Hammer House website for your hobby needs. They carry a wide range of miniatures and hobby supplies, including Mantic, Vallejo, Scale 75, and Green Stuff World products. Thank you for watching, and if you have enjoyed it, you can send me some encouragement by liking the video, and do consider subscribing to my channel Newbie Dice for updates on future content.